Well, is it our problem? Do we?
They can't use the tracking.
That's a good point. Turning to Scarlet,
All right.
where
yeah.
do the tracks go? You know what the tracks are. Which direction do they lead?
Okay, so I guess I start following the tracks I spotted.
Sure. I will just say I did just check. Technically, doesn't count as a beast, so you shouldn't get advantage.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
But good thing is it counts as a monstrosity,
which?
so the druid's going to be happy. Sorry about that.
Right.
Oh, I am. Why am I happy? I don't.
Because it's not a beast, and you were all about harmony. You said earlier you didn't want to.
Oh yeah, it's not a
Yeah.
beast. And okay, if it's a monstrosity, then we gotta purge it. Yeah, wait. Let's go kill it. all about
So
it.
you
Let's go kill
start
it.
following the tracks, and you get up
Suddenly
to
he's
the
motivated.
forest line nearby. Now I'm going to give you a little map of the village,
Okay.
if I can pull this up and not hide everything. There we go, and show to players. Go to everyone. There we go. You should have got that push to your Roll20 little
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
stuff.
I see it.
Just popped up. So you are just up from the little building up sort of the north west, and you can
Just
follow
a
the
little way
tracks
from there. Okay.
up to the forest line. At which point you would have to make another roll, because as you get to the forest line, it gets definitely more difficult to see it. Less light. The terrain is slightly different. It's more resistant to the water because the trees have sort of let it run off.
Okay.
So if you would care to roll.
Okay, so I'll do the roll for that. I don't get the advantage, right? So that's just 1d20.
Yeah. Plus your wisdom, plus proficiency if you're proficient in throw.
Okay, doke. That's plus 4 again. 18.
18. Okay. You manage to track it for quite a way, and you notice that the tracks are curving around vaguely back in the direction of the village. At the same time, you come across some tracks which are footprints, probably of a human or elf, probably a human, you think, that cross these tracks in a number of places.
Right, okay.
Would we be able, like the rest of us, be able to tell that the tracks are veering back towards the village, or are we literally just following Scarlet and relying entirely on her?
Well, if you want to make your own rolls, you could possibly know that. Without your own rolls, you're relying on
Okay.
Scarlet to tell you, and I'm sure she will.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much keeping you informed that
Scarlet's
Well,
so
the
much
tracks seem to
nicer
be-
than Aramil.
What?
I like to keep you all in the loop.
If I had confirmed suspicions, I'd tell everyone. But until then, I just don't
Okay.
want
Okay.
to voice my fears on others.
All right.
Okay, so I let you know that the tracks seem to be covering back a little bit, and there's also these new tracks seem to be cropping up, and yeah, trying to work out what do we do from here? Do we follow them back or what?
Well, we should. If we've already come this far, we should see it through. In fact, I think we should probably pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a while now since that scream happened, and these tracks are heading back to the village.
Okay. So you start double timing it back to the village, following the tracks.
Okay.
Okay.
What did the halfling militia people do? Are they
Um,
still following, or are they with the bodies?
They followed you and have just basically taken your lead and being fairly silent until you mention the fact that it's going back towards the village and that you should pick up your pace. At which point they look at you and the older ones goes, "We'll go on ahead. You cover us. What's your name, Bowman?"
Malphas, and don't you think we should go on ahead, considering the size of our legs? No offense.
I'll go with them.
He doesn't look offended. He's a practical guy, and he says, "Okay, we'll follow behind. Just make sure nothing bad happens."
Okay. Sorry, was Wolfslayer going to hang back with the halflings, or kind of lead the charge if they're hanging back?
Well, don't they move at the same rate as Scarlet?
Yes.
Ooh.
So in short, we're all moving at the same pace.
Yeah, unless you choose to leave Scarlet behind or someone picks her up.
Yeah.
Is Scarlet faster than we are?
No, she's slower.
More legs.
Well, I can make us faster if we need to. If time is an issue.
If I'm aware of this ability, then I would stress that time is probably of an issue, given that these were apparently the sheriff's men, so they were trained as far as halflings would be trained, and they were just torn apart.
Melfast or what was? Look at your name.
The halflings looking at you, sort of giving sort of speeding up gestures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to book it back to the village, right? You said the track's headed back to the village.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hoof it back. You guys stick together and catch up.
Okay.
At this point, I'm probably going to tail behind Wolfslayer.
Okay, so Wolfslayer, Aramil, are you going on ahead?
Well, no. If she's, and I kind of expected at this point that she'd be pretty eager to go forward because she always does. I'll cast a spell on her. I will use Longstrider.
On Scarlet.
Yeah, increase her speed by 10 feet.
You are now the fastest of the group.
Awesome.
Yeah, this will be. No. Wolf's the one who said she was going to go on ahead.
Oh, Wolfslayer.
Slayer.
Okay.
Anna. I got it right this time. Her name's Anna.
Anna is
look
now
so happy
fastest
as well.
by quite a margin.
Did I say
So
Scarlet?
happy. Yeah, you did, but okay.
So
I'm mistaken.
Wolfslayer just speeds off ahead. Are you booking like full sprint? Okay,
Yeah.
that makes you able to go 80 feet.
At sprint.
You
yeah.
charge
Basically,
off ahead.
Basically, I want to either overtake whatever it is that needs to be overtaken. And and basically get back to the village before it and be guarding the village. Like if
Sure.
it's heading back that way looking for something else to prey on, I want to be there.
It doesn't take you long at all. It takes you a very short period of time at that speed. You manage to basically sprint off ahead. Everyone's a little bit surprised from Aramel how fast you're going. You just sort of leap over this stream ahead of you and land and just keep going. And you get to this this road that sort of curves around the top of the village, and you hold your axe at the ready. Everyone else follows the tracks. And you notice that when you get to another point, a little bit closer, maybe 50 feet from that house on the way back, you notice that there are other footprints here, older footprints, that are starting to become a little bit washed away. Smaller halfling feet. 2 pairs of these feet, you'd imagine probably a child's feet, and they look a little bit odd. Can you make a survival roll on that? Scarlet, since you're doing all the tracking here.
Okie doke.
So we caught up to her then as well, even though.
Well, Wolfslayer is at the village, and you're currently moving back towards the village.
Oh right, okay. So she's gone.
Oh yeah, she gone.
15.
They look a little bit stilted, like the person was injured or something. Like maybe they're walking with a limp or something. They do look a little bit odd.
Can I take a look?
But you... Sure.
I mean, I have pretty good rolls for that too. Same. 15.
Exactly the same as what I just told Scarlet.
Okay.
So just to clarify, as I was trying to keep pace with Wolfslayer, and then she became incredibly fast, much faster than
You can be following up behind her, or you can do the group.
expected. Once I saw her moving that fast, I probably would have been like, oh, okay, never mind. And just slowed to match pace with Aramel being like, well, okay.
So basically, like, Wolfslayer takes off, everyone else starts walking, and you go to a jog, and then just slow down and be like, yeah. Casually. So yeah. But you notice these tracks, and you also notice that nearby, when you eventually get to the stream, you lose the tracks of the dog in the stream, unless you make another survival roll at disadvantage. And it's going to be very hard.
So that's roll
because the
to
tracks
keep
don't just come
lowest.
out on the other bank.
Well, we should all try, right? One of us has a chance of finding it.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Unless bad things happen with Enter Elysium. I'm not sure. We roll poorly, what he'll do to us.
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
Okay, so disadvantage is roll 2, keep lowest?
Yep.
All right.
And this is survival, is that right?
Yeah.
Oops. Did I do the right one? Yes, I did, apparently.
Survival.
But it didn't roll the dice. Never mind. No one's dice is rolling. Okay, I've
mine
found
did.
something wrong.
Aha, 16. Take that.
Oh, keep lowest 1. That's right.
Okay.
Sorry.
2.
2. So, Aramel's got 16, and
Okay.
Scarlett's got 13.
As a group test, that's actually a fail.
Okay.
So in
Damn.
group tests like this, just to explain how it works, if you pass a threshold, it counts as 1 hit. If you fail the threshold, it counts as -1 hit. If you get a crit fail, it's -2. If you get a crit like success, that's +2. And so if you pass the test, you need a number greater than 0. So you can't really pick up where the dog comes out of the stream. It's obviously it's gone up or downstream a little bit, and in the stream you can't really follow its tracks particularly easily.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
you said we lost the dog's tracks, but not the tracks of the halflings or humans that were a little bit faded. Was that right? There were other tracks.
the
there?
halflings that you found a little bit closer towards that little house, yeah. You saw them. They're a little bit washed away. It's getting hard to see them in the sort of the pitch dark. It's getting to rain coming down. Wolfslayer, can you make a perception test?
Sure. Not well, though.
These virtual dice, damn it!
Yeah.
Someone
that's a
walks over
6.
towards you. You see them. You look a little bit worried for a moment, and then they just give you an eye and offer you a pint. Obviously, recognizing you from the tavern and seeing you run out with the guard, they're just seeing you standing there on sentinel duty, and they're kind of like,
I'll give him a wave away, like, and ask if they've seen any strange-looking dogs.
well, there was that one old man Proudfoot used to have. It was like a dog that looked like a sausage.
I mean,
Very strange dog.
recently.
No, not recently.
Dog that looks like a
Wah,
sausage.
wah, wah.
Did it have 2 heads?
He drinks from the pint.
Carries on.
Well, when you want to come back
What?
inside, let us
I'm
know.
gonna basically be jogging around the edges of
Okay.
the small village, just kind of like looking for anything on the any movement on the horizon, or listening for any screams, that sort
Sure.
of thing.
Every time you go
Obviously,
around,
I'm
you go
not
past
very
the front of the
good at
tavern.
that, but
Yeah.
I'm
Every time
good
you go
at the
around,
running.
you go past the
part
front of the
it.
tavern, and you do pretty quick rotations. And then about on your 3rd or 4th rotation, you notice that there are some halflings on the steps, just under sort of the awning, out of the rain, sort of going, and the other one pays the other one some piece of gold.
This is fantastic.
Okay,
I
the
don't
rest of
even
you.
want to know.
Okay. Right, so at this point, we've effectively completely lost the trail.
Yeah.
And we just stood out in the middle of the night, in the rain, by a stream, with 2 militia halflings
We
with
fail
us.
at adventuring.
I know. At this point, I'm actually getting quite fed up, and noticeably so, and I can kind of... Would I be able to more or less see the village from where I am? Is it
Oh, yeah.
close enough? Yeah.
It's lit.
I'm going back. Unless either of you, Aramil, Scarlet, you have a better idea, then I don't see much reason in just standing here.
Okay, so the halflings just look about. No one's told them what's going on. They're like, which way to go?
I point at Scarlet. Ask her.
Yeah, I sort of begrudgingly agree with Melfast. Like, we'd be as well just going back to the village, and I guess we just start making our way back there.
Okay, we'll rouse up anyone who can carry a weapon, and we'll get someone on watch. And you head back towards the village. And the two hobbits sort of hang back a little bit and have a quick natter. And then one of them runs up to the front, and obviously thinking that Scarlet's the one of you three who's kind of taken the lead so far, walks up and goes, "Have you dealt with this kind of thing before?"
I've dealt with things before, not this particular thing.
Well, we kind of don't have a sheriff now. And if this thing is going to come back, it would be handy if... What I'm trying to say is, we can pay you.
How much?
Yeah, how much?
Without breaking stride. Without even looking. I haven't even turned to regard
You
him.
greedy bastard.
I'll have to check what petty cash we've got available in the town hall. 20 gold pieces? He shrugs massively.
Checking how much gold pieces I've got. At this point, I'm looking both ways to Aramel. I immediately decide that was a bad idea. I look away from Aramel, look to Scarlet.
At which point, Wolfslayer runs up to the front of your party as you get to the edge of town.
Okay.
Did you find him?
Did you?
No. You ran off so fast. Just assumed you'd catch him.
No, I don't think the dog came to the village, so that's good at least.
At this point, I turn to the militiaman and say, "Is there anywhere, like a cave or anything nearby, or anywhere where a large dog might have been that you wouldn't have noticed? Because from the description that Scarlet gave, it's big. You know?
I give Belfast kind of a funny look and point at the woods.
Yeah, why are you asking her? How would she know?
I come from a city. I don't know these strange things. I'm used
Hobbit you've
to
been
concrete
talking to-
jungles.
Sort of looks at the outstretched arm and just nods and goes, "Could be up in the woods."
And no one goes there from the village? No one goes
Not
to collect
really.
drop wood from the forest? What do you
Well,
light your
time to
fires
time.
with?
But I'll be honest, it's been a bit wet recently, so the wood hasn't been really firewood quality. He looks up at the sky. Looks at you. 20 gold?
At this point, I just agree. Fine. I don't even wait for their agreement.
Okay.
Well, I just like rolling my dice, so surely I can persuade a little bit more. You got me. Our time is worth money. Time is money.
Call
friend.
me greedy.
Well,
You
it's
money-grubbing
for an
head.
honorable. It's for an honorable cause, but we've got bills to pay and mouths to feed. So
You may make the roll at disadvantage because Melthus already said that he would take it.
damn it, Malthus, shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Who just rolled? That was
This is a very strange turn of events.
so roll 2d20, keep lowest
Yeah.
1 plus 5. 2d20.
Is there any way for me to assist in this? Like, I don't know the current rules.
Well, if you want to say something, you can join him in the rolling, but you'd have to say something
put a-
before he rolls the dice.
Roll D0.
Yeah, 2d2.
Well, I would say that we should at least get room and board while we,
we have it.
in addition
Already
to
gave
that,
this.
while we investigate this. It could take more than one night.
The halfling who you've been talking to turns to you and goes, "As far as I'm aware, Mrs. Miggins was already going to offer you food and board. You are, like, the loot player, right?"
For
Is that-
tonight,
That's by popular demand. Everyone knows me now. Yeah, it's
And
me.
what about tomorrow
straight.
night?
I'll play the lute tomorrow. Play more
Do you
songs
want
about
my
badgers.
assist or not?
Well, if she assists, is it going to be
Never mind.
a?
I'm not going to help you anymore.
It wasn't
be
a
a
good
group roll?
reason for an assist. No, you still have the disadvantage.
It'd be a group roll though. Either way, if she did assist, right? Or what would
No,
happen?
if she didn't assist, she'd get to roll to help you, and if she succeeded, you get advantage. But
Oh.
you already have food and room and board.
Mm.
And
Well,
you're
let's
already
just try it.
like about to do your roll anyway. You said your bit, so I'm like, yeah, we'll just allow you to roll.
No,
I mean,
I
you're still
don't want to.
ridiculous
I don't want to anymore.
good. Okay.
It's on his own.
My computer's falling apart.
That's pretty. It's pretty bad.
1. 1.
We are no longer getting paid.
Well
it's fine.
done,
We'll do it for
Armil.
free.
He looks
No,
at
no,
you.
no, no.
He goes, "We're not made of money. I don't even know what we have in the petty cash box. It's probably going to be 20 gold, but that's all I can give you. And to be honest, I shouldn't really be doing that anyway, because that's the sheriff's job to access the petty cash when needed. You're pushing your luck. I'll give you 3 days."
Okay. Sounds good.
He eyes you. He knows you're pushing it.
I give him my my most winning smile because I'm a performer. That's what I do.
Right
Give him a wink.
after you try to
I give
fleece him of money.
Wink, wink.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, well, guys, should we turn in for the night? It'll probably be a lot easier to look for whatever it is in the morning. The tracks may be gone, but
I guess. I mean, we've tried tonight. We clearly are not going to be able to. So
Yeah, let's
Yes.
turn in.
yeah.
Okay. So you go back into the inn. As you turn to leave, the hobbit turns around and probably, I mean, Scarlet was the person he was talking to before and closest to him, so he looks at Scarlet and he says, "If you need me, my name's Battle Roarer. I live at the house on the edge of town." And he gestures towards the house that you went past earlier on the path.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
would the rest of
Come
us have
and
been
tell me
in
when you found out what this is.
earshot for that conversation, or are we already too far
The rest of
away?
you are in earshot, yeah.
Okay. No one can tell what I'm thinking because my eyes are just a solid color.
Oh dear. Okay, you head into the inn. Everyone looks up as they see you and just continues on. And one or two people run up to the famous lute player and go, "Come on, governor, give us another one."
Well, I'm good at entertaining late into the hours because I don't need so much sleep. So by all means, I feel like being kind now instead of trying to rob people. Not rob. It wasn't robbery. It was extortion, basically.
Are the two elves still here?
You don't see them as you look across the pub. Okay, so Aramil gets out his lute, plays a little ditty. The rest of you, head off to bed when you want. There have been rooms prepared for you. There's a hobbit-sized room for our gnome, Scarlet. The rest of you get these slightly larger beds, but you're still iffy to fit on them. You can just about fit on them, but you're pushing it. Your feet rubbing up against the bed rail at the end.
My tail hanging off, dragging on the floor.
Yeah.
Bloody bed. I go straight to bed.
And you sleep.
Okay.
Everyone goes to bed. Everyone plays or then goes to meditate.
Sounds good.
Is that the same for Anna? She meditates as well, does she? Is
Yeah.
that a half-elf thing? Oh, right.
Yeah.
okay.
No, I sleep.
She goes to sleep and
She closes her eyes, and it's like, this is what
Closes her
sleeping
eyes.
is. Yep.
She really commits to
Goliath.
the meditation.
My understanding was actually that it was dependent on the half elf.
Ah, right, okay. That's cool.
That some
I
did,
think-
some didn't.
I think in fifth it does just say you meditate. That just maybe fifth.
She meditates while thinking she's sleeping.
Yeah, that's what she thinks. That's what sleep is. So you'll wake up in the morning.
We take the piss.
She's
out of
not
her.
that dumb, okay?
I'm sorry, but we've just watched her chasing her own tracks around a tree. I don't think she gets to make that call for the time being, at least until we've forgotten that.
Okay, so you all go to bed, you wake up refreshed, you have all your spells back, I remember. So you go downstairs,
Okay.
I assume. And
I
the
probably-
halfling who, served you dinner last night is there cleaning a glass, as per usual, moving dirt around a glass. It looks like it might be a different glass, if that helps. And she looks up at you and goes, "Quite a performance last night. Okay, sit down and we'll get you food."
Fantastic. I immediately accept this offer and go and find a table that doesn't have a rickety slat in it.
There's quite a few more tables available this morning. You go down, you find a table that doesn't have a rickety slat in it.
Is there many people here? Are they all halflings?
There's quite a few people here, mostly halflings. I mean, we're talking maybe 6 or 7. But in the corner there are, in addition, 2 elves. The elves you saw last night.
Okay. I make use of the fact that I don't have pupils and thus they can't tell where my sight is actually pointing, and I'm watching them. Can I see anything interesting about them?
You can choose to either look at them, what they're wearing and stuff with perception roll, or you can choose to scrutinize their actions and see, if they're giving anything away by body language with insight. You can choose to do either one of those.
So it's perception or insight, is that right?
Yeah.
They're both wisdom. Ugh. Okay. I'll look at their clothing, see whether they're
Okay.
locals. Well, not locals, but from a small place or a city or something like that. I can see they're wearing clothes.
They're not naked.
They appear to be probably from Neverwinter, so that the High Elf realm nearby.
Okay.
They don't look particularly poor. They're wearing traveling cloaks. They look like they're suited and booted to, actually travel currently. They've got, high level boots, sort of a leather type armor of some kind underneath their cloaks. Can't really tell much more. Not got a particularly good angle on them.
Would I
covered.
know if they were the same half elves as elves as last night, or would I not have noticed?
You're not quite that racist. Yeah, you can tell they're the same half elves, high elves.
Great.
Okay, fair enough. I walked into that one. To be perfectly honest, I deserved that, and I accept it.
Okay, so your food's brought to you. It's a porridge with some bits of sort of dried meat in it.
Okay.
It tastes okay. It's a good filling meal. Something a Hobbit would approve of.
I've got my mouth
Can
full,
we
so I'm
ask-
not saying anything.
I'd like, just ask around, see if anyone found out anything else about the attack. Surely by now the rest of the town has been up, talking about it.
As Aramel starts doing the rounds, asking these sort of questions, I just kind of nod my head in agreement with his actions. Good idea.
Okay, so you just want to generally talk to people in the inn.
Yeah, just see if anyone knows anything. Do a little bit of,
Make a general sort of charisma roll, but you can make it with advantage. And it'd be a persuade, since you're persuading people to talk to you. And you make it with advantage because they all love you from last night.
You're going to let me roll a 2d20, keep highest one, +5? That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's not
still-
a great roll.
No.
It's not great, no, for
Would
2
have been
dice.
pretty
But for
good.
15... I was talking to one of my friends the other night, and he said that it was someone was killed up there. Someone was said it was the sheriff's men.
Really? That's fascinating.
And he
Have
actually
you heard
said that
anything
you
else?
ran out with your loot afterwards.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
did.
sure
yeah.
that- What did you need a loot for?
Well, I always take it with me. You never know. Might need it.
At this point, I just kind of call out from my table, swallowing a mouthful of food hastily. It's a battle loot.
Oh,
I
that's a battle loot
I
then.
give him a glare. I give him a glare.
I raise my my fork with a sausage on it. Oh, well, a spoon full of porridge with a grin, and then start stuffing my face again.
Okay. Generally, you pick up a lot of things. Basically, chatter. People, know that there's, the sheriff's men have turned up dead. I say men. One of them was a lady. The sheriff's people, halflings, hobbits, turned up dead, and they know that it was a pretty vicious mess.
Are you sure we know that with how badly they rolled on the medicine checks?
Did a roll
Make a good point.
Did a roll the
Charlotte.
I'm just
Scarlet
saying,
did
if we're gonna bring up the tree.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, he was checking his own pulse. To be fair, he could have easily have missed that little detail.
Sorry. Anyway.
We suck. Malphas finds this hilarious,
dice.
though. He's quite happy with it.
Virtual dice.
You need new virtual dice.
Indeed.
Okay.
Could change the color.
What do you want to do?
Well, as soon as I've finished, I look to my companions and we should probably go and see Battle, whatever his name was, up at the house about our money and possibly our job as well. But mostly about the money.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm up for going.
Okay.
Well, it's that, or we should try and pick up the tracks again now that it's light out and hopefully not raining. They're probably gone because of the rain, but might be worth a shot before trying to go and get money that we haven't earned yet.
Can I talk to the innkeeper and see if she knows more? Because I talked to the people in the tavern just now, but she's been here all the time.
You
I
walk
want to see
up
if
to
she
her.
knows anything.
She looks at you.
Do you know? What else can you tell me about this dog? Because I know, surely you know more about what's going on than the average person.
There's a
What
dog.
can
What's
you tell
that?
me? Come on, don't play coy. What do you know?
Make a persuade roll.
You sound so unsure. You make me feel like my actions are weird.
You're basically bullying this innkeeper to tell you.
Tell me what you know. 19. You spill the beans right now.
I heard it was Tastar and Rostrix, the sheriff's people, and that someone was saying that they'd been mauled by something.
Mm-hmm.
And that apparently you ran up there in the middle of your set.
Well, yeah, we're trying to help. Do you know anything
Not to
about
hold
it?
it against you.
Can you help us in any way? I'm trying to help you out here. Where should we
I
look?
don't really. I tend an inn. Not
Okay.
particularly experienced when it comes to
At
dead people.
this point, standing near the door, because I've already gotten up to leave, I just kind of look over and say, "Stop harassing the innkeeper and let's go. You crazy druid."
I like rolling my dice. Okay, let's go. I'll leave.
Okay.
I'm terrified
Sorry.
that Malphas is acting as the voice of reason in some of these instances. This scares me, frankly. And it should scare you, too. You weirdos.
Sure. Okay, you head out. Where are you going?
To the woods.
Okay, well...
Why not? Why don't we just go back to where we were last night? One with nature.
Are we going to
Well,
the
I
woods?
think we should go and try and find. You were saying that there were what could have been halfling children, like with injuries, tracks, right? Am I making that up because I'm so tired?
I'm fairly certain
There
I
were
heard him
two-
say something
Yeah,
like
there
that
was
as well.
another set of tracks, yeah.
There are two
Right.
sets of tracks.
We should go and try and find the injured halfling tracks first.
Yeah, we know where they are. They're right by the river.
Okay. And we should try and pick up that trail,
Okay, well, I'll grudgingly
right?
agree to this plan, and I'll follow along.
Okay. So, you head up towards where you saw the tracks last night of the halflings who were injured in some way. You will all, if you're searching for tracks, have to make survival rolls.
Survival?
Yep.
If I were not to join in this, would that increase their odds of success?
Probably.
Yes, I'm not even going to try.
20 for me.
11 for me.
17.
Not too bad.
15.
Okay. Who got the 11? Scarlet.
Yeah.
Okay. So Scarlet goes wandering off, searching with tracks, and she's very sure where she saw them last night. However, Aramil and Wolfslayer both point next to them, and you come back to see these small bits of halfling footprints that you only know are there because you saw them last night. But upon finding them, you manage to find little bits here and there, which you quickly lose again because a lot of it's been washed away. The rain really has... we're not in a tavern anymore, I can turn it off. The rain really has kind of got rid of most of the evidence, but you pick them up again in the shadow of the nearby house. And you can see once you get to where basically the house protected the ground from rain, you notice that they basically head towards a coal cellar type dealie.
Okay. So this is the house that the militiaman said he was going to be at. Is that right? Or am I thinking of a different house?
Mm-hmm.
This is that house, that same house. Okay.
The one that's far away from the rest of the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the map.
Is it haunted? Well,
you do not know.
It's so far away. It must be haunted.
Bloody superstitious druids. My God.
Never trust a thin innkeeper and never trust a faraway house. It's just can't trust them.
Can I see
So
anything
we're
about
going to go there?
Yeah. I assume
Right?
that we've more or less followed these tracks. Is that right? Because you were describing what we'd see if we were right next to it in the rain shadow of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're there. So we've been led up to the cellar door. Is the door barred? Can I see if
The door has a padlock on it on the outside.
Okay. Well,
It
I
looks
mean,
like a
Is this like an
new,
abandoned
fresh
house
padlock.
or a regular house? Does somebody live here? Should we knock?
Is it a
looks
witch's
like a
house?
house, a normal house. It doesn't look particularly abandoned.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna go knock.
yeah, I'm agreeing with that. I mean, I could just pick the lock, but I mean, Aramil will probably have a kitten. Bloody druid.
I don't see any problem with it.
I'm following Wolfslayer. This is where I wanted to
Okay.
go anyway. This is where that halfling should be.
Aramil and
I just
Scarlet,
wanted-
you going with them?
Yeah, I'll go with them because, well, the guy was saying to me that's where he stayed, so I may as well go knock on the door, see what he has to say.
Okay. You do as well? Okay. So you go around the front, and Wolfslayer poof, 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 knocks on the door, and about 30 seconds later, the door opens. Okay, how can I help you? And it's Battle Aurora, the hobbit you were talking to last night.
I kind of just lean in to Aramil and go, Shh, do you remember his name?
Yeah, battle roarer. How come you not?
Fantastic.
Why don't you remember that?
I have a memory for faces, not names.
And he looks over, having rolled a 20 on his perception roll, and
So you get
looks
normal
at
dice.
Malthus, hears, and goes, "It's Battle Aurora." Shakes his head. He says, "Do you want to come in for tea?"
Actually, we're more interested in what you've got in the coal cellar around the back.
Okay.
Ooh.
Roll an insight.
Okay.
The way you delivered that, I will let you have advantage.
Okay, so that's roll 2d20. Keep highest 1. And insight, unfortunately, not one of my strong points. We'll just see. Okay, well,
So with your numbers, that is...
that's it. I've got a 10 wisdom, so I get no
Oh,
benefit.
so that's 16.
Yeah.
That is way easy enough. You see that he visibly goes pale. Pale as a sheet. His hand twitches on the doorknob, and he takes a small step backwards. And he looks at you, his eyes wide, out of a mixture of surprise and a little bit fear, you think. And he goes, there's coal, firewood. And he's inching his hand
I step
behind
inside.
him. And he is kind of blocking the door. You can push him if you...
A little. He invited us in for tea, after all.
Okay,
Yeah, I
you
want
step
this.
inside.
I see the Wolfslayer operates on the vampire rules.
Say, tea sounds good.
He's so surprised, he kind of just lets you push him like very easily. And you walk inside into a hobbit home, so you are stooped pretty low. There's a little sofa. There's a little coffee table. There's a portrait on the wall of what appears to be Battle Roarer and a female hobbit and 2 hobbit children.
Okay.
And, there's other accoutrements of a lived-in house. But it does look like it's gotten a little bit to see. Like, there are a couple of unwashed plates on one of the chest of drawers nearby.
Okay.
He looks completely taken aback. He goes, yeah, I'll go get that tea. And he goes around the corner into what's the kitchen, which doesn't have a door or anything. It's just an open kitchen attached to the thing with sort of a partition wall across half of it.
All right. Now,
Right. What doors are around?
yeah. How many exits are there from this room?
Okay, make a perception test. Anyone who wants to look for doors.
Well, what's later?
Just regular doors.
I do.
I know.
I do.
Not looking for secret doors, just regular ones.
Are there portals through the walls? that may or
However,
may not-
if there are secret doors, I did get a total of a 20.
Well done.
Okay, that's a 20.
Yes. Not a natural 20, but a 20.
I got a 10.
10.
I'm not
We're
particularly
looking
myself.
looking for doors.
Okay. There's windows in every room. There's a door which is slightly ajar leading to what you think is a bedroom because you can see vaguely some articles of clothing strewn on the floor in there. There's the door that leads to the kitchen. You can't see if there's an entrance out of the kitchen in any way, particularly from here.
Okay.
And there is the living room. And then there is a door off to the side which leads into presumably another bedroom of some kind. Judging by it's got something written on the door in half-elf sort of cant. But the door is closed.
Okay. Well, at this point, as he leaves the room, the moment I think he's far enough away, I move up closer to the group, whoever's nearest to me, and I whisper, "There's something up." I pass that information along straight away.
Okay.
I know I'm not the smartest person in the group, but I give him a look like, duh.
Well, I don't know. I was doing it when rolled.
Because I'm probably also not the least intelligent.
Everyone sits there in awkward silence in the middle of this lovely hobbit home.
So, are there any other signs of family? Like, you said there's a portrait of a family. Are there signs of a family? Like the last Hobbit house that we were in, there were the kids playing. There were the signs of a family living there.
There's no signs of a family living there like those. There's a lot of signs of it has been inhabited or it is inhabited, but you can't see any signs that there is definitely other people there right now. There's some articles of clothing strewn around. There's actually a little locket on a chest of drawers nearby that you can see. There's that painting. There's a couple of other little paintings, and then there's sitting nearby. There's some envelopes opened with parchment sitting on them.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take a look at the from where we're sitting? What is the word? What are the words on the door? You said it was written in a half-elf cant. I'm half-elf.
Halfling. You don't speak the halfling cant, do you?
You said half-elf. I heard you.
Oh, sorry, I meant halfling.
You did say half elf, but I assumed that since half elves don't have their own language,
it's basically it's like a chalkboard, and on the chalkboard it says something in a halfling sort of script, and below is like the image of a sort of poor, like a child's drawing of a bed.
Okay. Can we hear him in the kitchen still?
He is making tea. Okay. By the sounds of it, fairly shakily.
I'm going to go and stand by the portal into the kitchen because it's not a doorway because there's no door there. But and I'm not going to go through. I'm just going to casually lean against the wall, just kind of watching him out of the corner of my eye while
he makes tea. He sets some tea and some milk and some cups and some biscuits, and he turns around, sees you, and jumps like a good 6 inches. A little bit of tea splashes out, but he manages to retain the tray. You can see he's starting to get hold of himself, And he goes,
Starting to get a hold of
Gee.
himself. Let's fix that. I'm rather good at intimidation. I'm going to go over to him and basically say, so what are you hiding? And maybe, get a little flexing in there.
But while you're doing that,
The
I'm
gun
just gonna
show.
reach forward.
all
While you're
that.
doing
maybe,
that,
maybe brandish the axe a little bit. Be like, what's going on here?
Okay. So you need to roll intimidation then.
What were you saying,
And-
Scarlett?
Scarlett?
yeah, I was going to say, like, while she's doing that, I'm just going to lean forward and just take, like, a mug of tea from him while this is happening.
Oh, nice roll.
23.
Okay. 23.
So he pees himself.
He
Back 19s.
he just he sort of shakily puts the tray down on a nearby workbench and just starts sobbing into his hands.
Okay.
And it's kind of a weird experience to see this fully grown, slightly, getting a bit older, sort of graying, but a fairly tough halfling just bawling, absolutely bawling.
I kind of nod to Melphus and give a look at the kid's door.
Okay, that
The door with the chalk on it.
yeah.
That
That I head over to the door and just test whether it'll open first. If it's locked or anything.
It is unlocked.
Okay, well, I open it and peer inside.
There is a bedroom in there. It's got 2 single beds,
Okay.
halfling-sized beds. The linen on the beds is immaculate. Everything is in perfect place. There are a couple of paintings of just generic sort of scenes on the walls, and there's in fact some little bits of parchment with scribbles on them in one corner, which look like they were sort of drawings done by the children.
Mm-hmm.
There's some toys on the floor, but all of them seem like they are very much placed there, like someone has gone through this room and made sure everything is perfect.
Okay.
poor kid.
All right. Well,
There's 2 though. It sounded like there were 2 kids, right?
Yeah, there's 2 single beds in there, and there's 2 kids in the portrait.
okay. Well, coming back out, I just kind of round the corner and just ask in not a particularly, unsympathetic voice, how long has it been?
And he's just bawling into his hands, and between sort of these massive hobbit sobs, he gets out 2 months.
Well, I'm awkwardly not really sure how to handle this, so I just sort of lift my tea and give it back to him, like, there you go.
Yeah, we could sit him down and get him a little more comfortable, and so that he can tell us this story.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this would
Because he
call
is
for a
going to
group-
tell us this story.
a group persuade test.
All right.
And the way you've done it, it's so nice. Do it with advantage. Go for it.
Yay.
Do with advantage. Oh, goodness. I don't think we really need that. All right, what do I type in for that?
It'll be 2d10
Don't I
K
slash
one.
R
Oh,
2D10,
damn it.
Oh,
right?
slash R space
It's 2d20.
2d10 K 2d20 K1
Okay, I've got 22.
22
1 plus 4.
21.
21
16.
12.
Aw, 16? That's crap.
16 and 12 was that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You sit him down, you give him a cup of tea, someone pats him on the back, and you just use very caring tones, these sort of very, very neutral tones talking to him. And he eventually just manages to get out this story to you in between sobs. He goes, 2 months, my kids were taken away from me by a pox that came through town. And he's just breaking up. And then he says, my wife died shortly thereafter from grief. A trader came through about a week back with a scroll, a magic scroll that he said would bring them back. But when they came back, they were changed. I had to lock them in the cellar. They're down there right now. And he points to the edge of the carpet, and now that he points to it, you can see that there is the edge of a trapdoor.
Okay.
So you raise the dead?
He's still crying. He just massively nods repeatedly.
It's now a good time for a break.
In a second.
Are you going to continue that line of questioning,
Oh, goodness.
Aramil, or is that you?
Well, I don't generally like undead things. Do you mind if we fix this? Or what do you want us to do? How can we help you? They're not your kids anymore.
In between large crying sobs and at you saying, not your kids, are they? He goes, I couldn't bring myself to do it. And he then sort of raises his head and he looks up at you guys.
Right, that's all I need.
I'll pay you.
How much?
I like Scarlet.
Oh, harsh.
At this point, I'm just grinning, looking down at her, like this nod. He's like, that's right, young Padawan.
He gets up, he walks into the bedroom for the kids, and he comes out with what can only be described as a halfling piggy bank.
Oh, you're going to take the kids' savings? Oh, I love you and I hate you at the same time.
Can I get the piggy bank with it?
He just nods and he just hands it straight to you.
Wow. All right.
Hey guys, that's
At this point, I'm actually. It's no longer approval. It's just kind of like strange awe. It's like that's cold.
And now
serious cold.
we go to a break. So thank you everyone who's been watching so far. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes. Depending on, how long it takes people to go get tea. I know I could do with a cup of tea.
I need
Wow.
another beer.
I think I need my soul cleansed after that.
Seriously,
we'll be back with you.
she's been quiet all this time, and then it's like,
Plotting and scheming.
fantastic.
Yeah. So we'll be back with you shortly.
See you soon, everyone. That was heartless on a level I don't even know how to express.
Hey, the cat's not using it.
This is a fair point. Fair point, indeed. Right, I'm going to step away for a moment to get myself another beer.
Yeah.